Hello and welcome everybody for today's program. I'm really excited to invite all of you here into this program. যেখানে আমরা আমাদের আজকের guest from USA. He's none other than he's the executive director of John Maxwell Team. He's one of my favorite person, and he's Sheikh Jillur Rahman. He's also the founder of Next Leadership. আমরা বলি যে John Maxwell is the leadership guru in the world, and he is highly regarded as a number one leadership guru all over the world. আমরা সবাই জানি, and all of you may know, so I'm also John Maxwell certified speaker, trainer and coach. So যখন আমি আমেরিকাতে গিয়েছিলাম for the certification program, just let me tell you, Sheikh Bhai also hosted me at his city and at his house as well. So today it's really wonderful experience, for me as well to bring him into this live program. And also let me tell you, he also organized a program in his city. So briefly we'll talk about it as well. He's a wonderful person, wonderful human being. So he's there in USA, living last many years, established there and doing this leadership work as well. So please help me to welcome in today's program Mr. Sheikh Jillur Rahman, Executive Director, John Maxwell Team, and founder, Next Leadership. Sheikh Jillur Rahman, welcome to our program. Sheikh Bhai, how are you? কেমন আছেন আপনি?
Thank you. First of all, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, in the name of Almighty, we are starting. And Assalamu alaikum to everybody, or Namaste, wherever you are, whatever time you are in now. I'm very excited that I am here, and I don't want to take it lightly. Any of your time, I'm sure herds of people will be joining or watching this later, and I'm hoping that I can add value, at least somewhat, to even one person. If that's true, then this is rewarding for me. Inshallah, I'll try to use as much Bangla বলার চেষ্টা করব কিছু, but I'm sure there'll be some people who will be watching later also. So in one sense, that's some English would be good. At the same time, I am Bangladeshi completely, but haven't done this kind of effort like Kamrul does so nicely, and a beautiful Bengali words and everything. I'm not capable to do that. I have to admit that. So, but I'll try. And the other thing I wanted to let you know, I will probably share a slide. That way, it's just easy to flow. You don't have to be online for that. At the same time, you can actually stop me at any time if you'd like, because I think this session is for you, not for me. And Kamrul brought me so I can add value to you and to the whole community. So anything that you may have asked, it's better that you stop me. That's my philosophy. Even though I memorize the whole session and I have to start over again if you stop me. I'm just kidding. No, I don't have to start over. But I think it has to be interactive. That way we learn more. And I would like to learn from you guys also. So hopefully that's how it will go. Kamrul, do you
Absolutely.
have anything to add? Any question?
Right. Definitely, we are going to begin, and you can start using your slides, so you can get ready and prepare yourself as well. আমরা যেটা সবাইকে বলছি যে please feel free towards all the viewers right at this moment, whoever viewing from wherever you are inside the Zoom session, and also the Facebook, and also the lot of other groups as well. We encourage you to ask the question as well. Please feel free to raise the questions, stop us, raise your hand as well. যারা আমাদেরকে শুনছে from Facebook থেকে, তাদেরকে উদ্দেশ্যে বলছি যে I would be observing your questions in the comment section as well. So please just feel free to ask question. কারণ আপনাদের এই question গুলা পেলে আমাদের জন্য যেটা হবে, it would help us as well to respond to your specific need that you have. So without further delay, আমরা আমাদের আজকের সেশনটা শুরু করব, এবং আপনাদেরকে যেটা জানাতে চাই আপনাদের জ্ঞাতার্থে, যে আমরা প্রতিদিন রাতে আমরা চেষ্টা করছি to bring some of the dignitaries, guests, experts, resources from all over the world. So it is basically for you. So we want to add value to your life during this, COVID-19, or after this as well. Our aim is how we can add value to your life so that you can add value to others. So that is what our objective is, and we are looking forward to all of you. আপনারা সবাই আমাদের সাথে অংশগ্রহণ করবেন, participate করবেন with your questions, comments, if anything যেটা আপনি বুঝতে পারছেন না বা জানতে চান, your thoughts and ideas also welcome. So let's begin. Sheikh bhai.
Okay. So I'll get started. First of all, let me share the screen that I wanted to share. Let me know if you can.
We can see it. It's clear.
Okay,
it's
good.
There.
Okay,
so
good.
Please begin. Yep.
All right. So the way I was planning to get started was telling you a little bit about my story as well. And I came from a very simple background from Dhaka, Bangladesh. I was born in Dhaka. I was brought up in Dhaka, and then at the age of a very young age, I happened to come to the US. So let me get into that story with some slides here, so that will help you. But again, one more time, just wanted to let you know, if you have any question anytime, stop me anytime in the chat box, and if I'm missing anything, Kamrul or anybody, please let me know so I don't miss this question. At the same time, the first thing that I want to say is that I want to champion Kamrul for doing this. I have met him virtually before he came to the US one time to visit a couple of years ago, and then of course after he came, we met and he was with me for some time, and then I met him again in Florida where the John Maxwell certification was, and I got to know a lot of about him, and he was actually a kind of an inaugural speaker for the event that I started in my area locally in a different scale. I used to do that for a long time, but then we started as a regular event on a monthly basis, on a community event. And after Kamrul, a lot of people came and did the same thing for us, just like what we are doing here virtually. So that was awesome. So he started that, and that was a good spirit. And then I saw him moving up in a very high speed and gathering knowledge. And I see his changes and his community changes. So that is something really nice. And I think if you're in the same bandwagon, you'll be doing great. Let me get started with the slides that I have. The agenda that I have fixed, that I talked about, that I would be possibly talk about, it's only a few slides, 7, 8 or 9 slides. It's not much. And it's just be there and we're going to be just talking. So I encourage you to ask any question, anything that you'd like to know about me and what happened, or what you would like to know. The most things that I'm trying to get into was that how can you be so authentic and be in the leadership industry? Am I doing okay? Is my sound okay? I hear an echo. Are you all okay? Okay.
এখন একটু ইকো হচ্ছে, so can you try again? Now it's fine. Go ahead, okay. Please.
All right. So the way I put together an agenda, which I put together 2 different agendas together, which I usually do, and then hopefully that will help you. So the authenticity and leadership, these are 2 topics that we're going to be talking about mostly. I will bring a little bit of awareness in it because I did presentations on that as well. So regarding me, if you see one of the pictures that I have actually is with Kamrul when he came to John Maxwell Team, and Maria was there. And then of course I started traveling with Dr. John Maxwell. I became his inner circle from 2014 or so, and I became very much attached with him. The first time I actually listened to him was in 2002 or 2003 in Richmond, Virginia, where I went to some kind of seminar, and I listened to him and I was given a tape by, I don't know how many people, if you're old enough to remember, cassette tapes. That's what I used, and that's how I learned about Dr. John Maxwell. At that time, I thought he's a dead guy. At first, when I talked to, listened to his tape, I did not know he's alive and everything. So, and at some point, I found out that actually he was in a seminar, and I went there. So that was my introduction with him, and then I started delving myself more and more into. So anyway, there are some things that I've been doing recently, and as Kamrul says, I'm in John Maxwell team, but in the leadership arena. How did I get started? So let me tell you a little bit of my story so you can relate. And these stories are actually the fundamentals for me to learn leadership. So that's why these are important. So hopefully I can connect the dots for you at some point of what I'm bringing in here. So the way I see myself was, I was not a leadership person. My leadership was not high. I was born in Dhaka, as I said, in Bashabo, which is basically a suburb. I don't know the situation now, to tell you the truth, because I've been kind of detached from my origin or from my place for some time. And I used to call it a jungle almost, because at that time, when I was really young and stuff, if you see the first picture on the left, those are my two cousins who are actually from the US, and the person next to me is my nephew, a couple of years old, younger than me. And that was in Bashabo. And it was a big property, so to speak, in my mind at that time, because we had in my property at that time, we had dozens of mango trees, guava, grapefruit, and then some of the names I don't even remember, or I don't know the English names. Chalta, Orboroi, neem tree, bodga, some of those things was that's how I grew up. So it was a village facility in one sense, but that's how. And I was busy. I did not have the privileges like you guys. You guys have cell phones, this, that, and all those things. And the kids these days, even my child, he grew up with an iPad in his hand. Back in the days, of course, you cannot even imagine that. And then, of course, there's Bashabo football field, soccer field. I don't want to call it a soccer field. It's a football, the real football, I mean. And so that's how I grew up. But what happened is, at that time, my grandmother, who was illiterate and could not even sign her name, but she was a leader. More than 5,000 people showed up at her funeral in 1980s, I think 81 or somewhere around there. At that time, in a village like suburb. I'm saying village like because I know Bashabo is probably much grown today and a good city kind of thing. But back in the days, it was hard to find somebody, some taxi or somewhere who would go there, who would bring me there. And now I know, with my experiences, decades of experience and decades of leadership involvement, that my grandmother was a leader. So what my message to you on that part is that you don't have to be a learned person, you don't have to have degrees, you don't have to have a title, but you can be a leader. That was my introduction, and at that time I did not understand the sublime training that I was going through by my grandmother. Of course, my parents they were great, and excuse me, they were taking care of me and guiding me and everything, but I did not have a real mentorship of what I wanted to do. That's a different topic. I'm not going to get into that, but let me just move on, because this is just my story. An important thought on that is that I was kind of in a mid to high income family, I should say. kind of well off, not much difficulty, but I did not have the privilege to do anything that I wanted to do. That was not the case, because they wanted me, to my family, they wanted me to have that life training, so to speak. And my grandmother was very keen into that. In fact, my grandmother, I remember, she said that we don't no air conditioner in the house. So, and I was kind of surprised, why? Like, because most people in Bangladesh does not have an air conditioner. Why do you need an air conditioner? And that kind of thing. But anyway, let me move on so I can go to the next slide. On this one, so I went to, as you see, in just a regular government school, then in Notre Dame College, because that was the closest for me. Even though at some point I wanted to go to Dhaka College, which was one of the two best colleges in Bangladesh. At the same time, I always had that spirit to do the best. I was not a super competitive person, but if I have to compete, I always wanted to compete with the best. But I never compared. Till today, I don't like to compare myself or anybody to others. The way I do the comparison is to my own self, and that's what I train, that's what I preach. I say to people that, okay, if you want to live, if you want to compete, then compete with yourself from your yesterday self.
Just a second, Shahriar, could you please switch off everybody's microphone? The sounds are coming. Thank you.
Done, bad.
Anyway, so that nature that I see that is actually valuable in many cases, especially if you go to corporate world, if you want to be in business and all those things, of course, those, in-groove nature is definitely, in your advantage. So I competed, and of course, I went to the Bangladesh Engineering University. At that time, I think that was the kind of the top-notch or best university that I know of.
Still, it is the best one. So, Sheikh Bhai.
Still, it is.
Yeah,
okay.
Buet is the Buet, right? So.
Okay.
Unparalleled.
So the Buet was very renowned. So I said, okay, I want to be there, and I started there. But in the meantime, there was something called session jot. Bangladesh political situation, and all these things. They had the longest of that. So I was sitting for almost like close to 2 years at that time. So within that time, for the fun of it, I just took some TOEFL and all those tests that you do to go abroad. So I did that. And then I'm glad I did that in one sense, and the other sense I kind of missed that, I didn't stay in Bangladesh. But in the first couple of weeks I was in Bangladesh or in Buet, I felt, I don't want to put down anybody, that's not my intention, substandard in the sense that not technology, not education-wise, but some of the people that I was with there, or the admin people, or my environment, or all these things, I felt that they are not at the standard where they should be, leadership-wise or human-wise. So somehow I said, no, I want to go somewhere. This is not what I want. Right away, I knew myself that I'm not going to do, even though that's what I wanted to do. And again, that's what I wanted to do because my father, yes.
Could you please just, I think the sound is need to be a bit louder if you can. That would help.
Okay.
In any way, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe
I can use a microphone, which I'm used to do, so that's
right.
better.
That would be better. Thank you.
Okay.
And everyone, please feel free to ask. Yeah, now is better. Right. Very good. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So where was I? I said, okay, I wanted to get out, and I started engineering because I was told that's what I need to do. in Bangladesh or in our Desi cultures, anywhere in our subcontinent, at that time, I'm guessing it's pretty similar even now, but the things are changing. There is a paradigm shift that has happened. But at that time, I remember saying, you have to be a doctor or an engineer. If you're not one of them, you're basically wasting oxygen. So I'm like, okay. So I that's what I thought, and then I, of course, as I said, I switched myself. I came to the U.S. and I went. I was supposed to go to a state. Instead of there, I went to University of Minnesota because I had some friends there.
So this is in which year, Sheikh Bhai? This is in which year you went to?
This is in 1992.
1992. Okay, fantastic.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah, I don't want to say how many years and everything. If I tell all those things, then I will look really old. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. I'm much older than many of you. That's how I have. The way I say it, I'm wiser now. Anyway, so I landed in Boston at my sister's place. I was there for some time, a couple of days, and then I went to Minneapolis. From there, I took a shuttle. I'm saying it because there is a reason.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I came from. It was in December, but it was a warm day in Bangladesh. About to the airport to see me off and that kind of thing. I mean, I was the popular guy and all these things. I was a people person, even at that time. So I'm just saying my leadership journey, because how I became a trainer, a people person, because it didn't shift actually. I was like that. I was a people person. Even though my leadership was not high, I did not know anything about it, which I learned later on. I'll tell you in a little bit. But that journey from Minneapolis to Mankato, that's what I went to university for first year of my schooling in the U.S. And I shifted my temperature from 32 degrees or something like that Celsius in Bangladesh. Within few days or some hours of time, I was at negative 25 degrees Fahrenheit, which is, I don't know, probably, negative 15 degrees Celsius or something like that. About
in Minneapolis, right? In Minnesota.
In Minneapolis, yes.
Okay.
In Minnesota.
Yeah.
And that was a stormy day.
It's really cold area because I've been there and, experienced, oh my goodness, it's minus 30, minus 35. So it's all is what you see, the ice and everything. Fantastic. So how did you cope up with this scenario at the time?
So I've never seen anything. In fact, the way you guys know it now, the platform is like that. The universe, the earth is small today, right? The world is so small, everything. But at that time, I did not have anything. We had 2 channels in Bangladesh, and the CNN started 24 hours right at the time when I left. So that was Bangladesh. So even though I had sisters, I had people, I had uncle, in this country or somewhere else, but I was not that. My awareness was not there. So that's why I'm putting a little bit of awareness here that what would help you. So from there, I saw all this ice and the snow, and I'm like, what is this? Is this really a true story? Am I dreaming? And I saw, as I was driving or going in the shuttle about 78 miles from Minneapolis City to the suburb, the university town, there was a sign close to the town that it says that end of earth, 25 miles. I'm like, what is it talking about? So, and I felt that, and I was kind of depressed. And to tell you the truth, in about a week or so, I went by British Airways, and then I took my ticket to come back from Singapore Airlines. I said, no, I'm not here. I called Buet. Said, hey, I'm coming back. This is not me. I'm not liking it. Do I still have my admission? They said yes. So somehow, but my another friend came to the same university, so somehow I got stuck and I did not come. But the reason I'm saying that is that environment for a youth is very important, and not knowing all these things is very important. But at the same time, it was adventure for me. So see, I had that adventurous mind, what attracted me. And I said, you know what? Yes, I'm probably liking it. Slowly, I started liking it because it was adventurous. The adventurous mind, what attracted me. So now, long story short, after I graduated, I went to California. I got a job, which gave me the opportunity to go different places with my consulting job as an engineer, as an electrical engineer. I did not complete my graduate study at that time because job was more important. I wanted to get out of there. I wanted to see the world, the adventurous mind again. I got married in New York with my family, in my sister's place. And right after that, there was that shift. As you can understand, many of you are getting married, many of you are married, many of you are probably thinking about it. Where do you find yourself right match, right? Many of you look for the right person, right? You want somebody who will be the best for you, best match, right? What do I mean by that? What I mean is that, okay, you want somebody who doesn't bother, who doesn't shout, who doesn't flirt, who doesn't lie, who doesn't cheat, but who doesn't exist also, right? So that's how our world is. But for me, it was the right environment, and I did one of the best decisions that I could take, because that's where I actually became from youth to a responsible youth, a matured person. And there was a time. And that was the time when, the economy and everything is really down now because of the COVID-19 that's going on. We'll touch a little bit on that, and any question you may have, of course, I would like to discuss that as well. But at that time was that shift of economic downward at that time. So I had difficulty. I was an international student. I was not a citizen at that time either. And I just gotten my green card, they call it the residency card, right after that at some point. And I formed myself into my entrepreneurship. One more thing you have to understand: the origin is always you. You won't be able to change that. Your upbringing, there are three circles that I always talk about. One is your upbringing, one is your calling, your gene, what is your gene, and the other one is your skills. How do you develop yourself? And these three things, if you can match, then you have the best of the best ability, best thing going on for you. So for me, and the entrepreneurship, the business mentality, something to grow and
so just to interrupt you, Sheikh Bhai, so that means you have started your entrepreneurial journey, right? At that time, this is during which year talking
started about? I actually started that during when I was a student in Minnesota. And that carried on, because what I did is, at that time, credit card application. If you at that time, and now everything is online, of course, very different. But at that time, this credit card application, you call them, you get your agency number or agent number, and stick it somewhere on the board, and people will get that and apply, and they'll get approved. When they get approved, I used to get, let's say, I don't know, I think $5, something like that. So that $5 was very important $5 for me, because that was my own money, even though it was little at that time. And I probably spent more money to earn that money. But that spirit developed from that time. And then I had several things going on. I'll actually move on.
Please,
to the next. A little bit about Unext. That's how I started the organization, because I had that spirit. I started my engineering firm at some point, consulting firm. I started multi-level company. I started adventurous business, like there was a launch of new cell phone companies in New York City. So I started a massive retail company for the cell phone companies. Then in 2007-8, somewhere, I think Bangladesh was giving a WiMAX license. I started talking with BTRC, I believe it's called,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
BT. Yeah.
BTRC.
So,
BTRC. BTRC.
yeah, so I started talking to them. I forgot the name, Cornell, whoever, I still have saved some of their emails and stuff. So I was known in there as well because I was getting the YMAX license for Bangladesh, and I secured $5 million deposit through another venture capitalist in Canada. But then I got into some fraud from Thailand, and then of course it became a massive thing, and I lost tens of thousands of dollars there. So I'm just saying that I failed many times to get to where I am. It's not easy. But what was the difficulty in that? Why I'm saying this to you? That's because I did not have a coach. I did not have a mentor. I thought I know it all. I have a degree. I'm 20-some years old. I'm smart. That's what I was thinking. And I did not listen to my wife. I probably listened to her at that time. Even though she is the one who actually groomed me to where I am. And I knew at some point I found out that her leadership skills are much higher than myself. And it was hard for me to admit that. Believe me or not, I'm like, what is this woman talking about? No, in my mind, that's how I was thinking. But sometimes you don't know the things that happens to your life, how those things come to you, and you just have to be open with your mind to grasp that information. And you don't know who that is, but when the student is ready, the teacher will arrive. And that's what happened to me. From different people, different sides, that people, things coming and came and tried to help me. One of them was my uncle, who just passed away about a month and a half ago in Boston within this COVID-19, not because of COVID-19, by the way. He was an older person. In fact, I was his intern, one of his interns in 1994 in Boston. I was the 131st employee for him. His name is Sheikh Jillur Rahman, SARengineering.com. And I had seen my own people that having that business, that entrepreneurship spirit. So that was intrigued me, but I did not know what I did not know. Now going back, in fact, let me tell you a quick something important here. Just recently, just a few weeks ago, I started taking a wealth course, a finance course from one of our friends, Kamrul and my friend, Raj Kapoor. I took his 8 weeks course, and it blew my mind.
Raj is watching right now. Yeah, he's there. He's watching, I guess.
Oh, yes. I mean, he is like one of my mentors these days, friend, mentor, partner, whatever you call it. It's unbelievable what it did to me. It was so simple. Some spreadsheets, some discussions, some thoughts, some things, one after another, going through that. It opened up my mind. It opened up my understanding of finance at this age after decades of experience. So, again, my message to you is, you don't know what you don't know. If you knew what you don't know, you'd learn it by now. If you want to go somewhere and you're not there, that means you don't know a few things what you need to know to get there. How can you get there if you don't have somebody who will guide you, mentor you, coach you? And that's what happened to me. Raj came into my life and he gave me this course, and I took that. Now I know how close I am to financial freedom. In fact, I did not even know the definition of financial freedom, even though I had been preaching some of those things for years and years. So long story short again, that when somebody is offering something is valuable there, be part of that. And that's how I created this your next adventure, your next step, you where you want to be. And that's why we created
Can I just interrupt you, Sheikh Bhai?
Absolutely.
Just an interruption. Just a question is, like, at this stage of your life, you are open to have the courses, right? decades of experience in US and the business and everything, right? So but a lot of us, we think that we know everything. Probably we don't need to have any courses or anything that for our upgradation. So what do you think about this? Because you have been to BUET and US education, and after this you think that you need to learn something, and you said that what you don't know, you don't know, and how can you know that you don't know?
Right, yes. And that is why you open up your mind and open up. There is a difference which I talk about these days, that opening your mind is not the same as listening to it. A lot of people think, oh, I'm open-minded. Most people say when they're open-minded, by that they actually mean they're open to listen to it. But if what you do is you watch their activity, if that activity is actually showing what they're listening, they're implementing it, that means they're open-minded. Now, what Kamrul just said, and what he's doing, it's a tremendous effort. It's a tremendous beneficial. You have no idea yet what you have in your hands. And that's how actually we created some online courses and all these things also. And within this time, the other thing that me, Raj, and few others that we did here is that, financial responsibility, master the understanding of financial thing. Crisis, how do you deal with it? Do you just go through it, or do you grow through it? How can you manage this time the best possible way that will give you the return later? What are the things you need to do? Or are you guys just going to watch the news and everything and be afraid and be locked down? So if that is the case, then of course you're gonna miss the boat and you're gonna be another average person. And I know all of you who are watching now and who are watching later, none of you are average. If you're average, you wouldn't be here. So anyway, so these are the things that we do, and then and Kamrul started doing with you guys, with the youth and the university. That's a tremendous opportunity for you to get on. So let me move on, because the things that I'm talking about here is that understanding of leadership. So leadership is a law. Why you are here? Because you're somewhat interested, like something intrigued you, whatever it is. I don't know how your brain works. I don't know. In UNEX, in a coaching, what we do, and Kamrul does that also, I'm sure, which is assessment of yourself. And that's what I did, year after year. Okay, who am I? What am I good at? What is my ability to do the best? How I can be most beneficially to this humanity, to this world? And what are the things I can do, or who are the people I can collaborate? What is my strength? Me and Raj, we've been working together, so we know each other's strength and this and that. We go through personality tests and this and that, okay, how we can match, and the more you know about it, the better you can be. Because now you know where you need to strengthen up and what is your weakness, so you don't need to strengthen up that much. That's another thing that you would like to learn. Anyway, the way you become successful is when you know the mindset of the society, and when you know the timing and what are you providing to that. When that comes, then you become the most successful person. And things that Kamrul is doing now, those are, soft skills. So that is the highest benefit that you can get from here, because even Carnegie Institute said that you need that the most for your own success. Now, going back to leadership laws. Law is a law. Gravitation. What is gravitational energy? Newton started, right? He discovered that there is a law called gravitation law. If you throw something from your window from 5th floor, from your window, it's gonna fall. If you jump out, more than likely you'll die or break your legs and stuff. And you can say, hey, Sheikh Bhai, Kamrul, I didn't know about this law. It does not matter if you know the gravitational law or not. It's going to be implemented on you anyway. You're going to fall anyway. There is a story I heard one time. This guy went to the doctor. The doctor gave him a prescription, and next day he went back again with a broken arm. The doctor said, "Hey, what happened to you? Yesterday your arm was okay, and now..." He's like, "You gave me the prescription and you told me to follow it. It went through my window and I followed it. That's how I broke my window. I broke my hand." But that's not what it is. You have to understand the laws of which are laws, and you have to. The more you know about the laws, the better you can implement that, which is true for gravitational energy, and it's true for leadership law as well. In fact, there is a book. Kamrul can do a workshop and that kind of thing. Also, all John Maxwell people who are certified, they can do that. They are allowed to do that, which is 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. It talks about all the laws in a leadership. Nobody can be good in all the laws, but as long as you know the laws, understand the leadership laws, you can be a better person in understanding and implementing that in your life. And the way I started helping people is that, okay, get involved and have some people with you so they can judge you or they can give you feedback. And then you list your passion, you list your expertise, and after that, I give you guys some workshop or some self-workshop kind of thing that you go through, and you will find your own strength, you will understand your own self, and you will be a better leader and better understanding person. And if you do need anything on that from my end, please email me or connect in our Facebook, and we can always provide you that. And there are a lot of those things already involved, and I'm going to upload a lot of our videos and all those in the YouTube channels as well. So you guys are welcome to be part of that and subscribe on that. Let me move on. Awareness. I talked a little bit about awareness. What is awareness? As I said, your open mind, when you're open mind, is what it means is understanding, and your mind is open enough to fathom all the things that's around you, understanding. So now in awareness, one of the things that my favorite thing is that many of you or all of you probably know how to do bicycle, riding a bicycle. Can you guys say yes or anything in the Facebook or in the chat or something, so I understand you're understanding what I'm saying, and I see that you can actually bike. Any of you cannot bike. Is there anybody like that there? If you know biking, then you know what is the balance, right? You know, it's just, your hand-eye coordination, your dexterity, and all these things. And you use the same principle to walk on a tightrope between two buildings. In New York, there are people who did that between two buildings, 1,000 feet on the sky. But they banned that. You cannot do that anymore. But however, it's the same principle. Your hand-eye coordination, your dexterity, your understanding, your balance, right? But would you do that? More than likely, you won't do that. But if it's on the ground or close to the ground, 1 feet above the ground, you'll be okay, right? So what? It is that principle, that understanding, the awareness is there. You do understand what can happen. The similar thing, it's not the skills, it's not your intelligence, it's not your talent, it's not your any of those. So success is completely different. If it is not true, think about this. All the PhD people, postdoc, and all these researchers, they would be all very, very successful financially and all these things, right? But that's not the case for the most part. I'm not saying that financial success is the only success. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm trying to say is there is no correlation between financial success and your success, and your talents and your education and your background and all those. Those are completely different. That's called awareness. Any question on that? Okay.
So what you're saying that in
I can't hear.
Okay. That financial success is completely independent. I mean, the educational qualification or any other qualification, it doesn't guarantee, right, any financial success, right? So, or financial
Correct.
achievement, anything, right? So that's why you
Correct.
have said it. Yep.
Correct. Yes. So there is it's not the financial success that we are talking about here, but at the same time, it's not uh, it's not the talent and your education that will make you a successful. As I said about myself, I don't know if you know the quote. Eisenhower said that farming looks mighty easy when your plow is a pencil and you're 1,000 miles from the cornfield. And that's what it did for me. I thought, I'm educated, I understand, I have my surroundings, I have my people, I have influence and all these things. So I can be very, very successful in business. But that was not the case. And the way to become successful is a little bit more rocky, but a lot more awareness than what you need. And that's where coaches like Kamrul, coaches like Raj, and many others can help you to get to where you need to go. Because you cannot be the person who you cannot be the person by yourself alone. You need some help. Now, let me go to the next step. I don't know what happened to my screen. Okay, so awareness. You see, there are a lot of people who are actually selling a lot of things as well. That, have you ever thought that somebody would be selling diet water? What does that mean even? So, in talking about awareness, one of the things that I want to say that, there are things in your subconscious mind that is taking a decision without you having to know or being conscious about it. Make our subconscious conscious. Let me ask you a quick question here. All of you who are on the call, do you know your phone number by heart, or can you tell me your number? Until I ask you this question, you would not even think about it. Nowadays, with the smartphone, you don't even need to know. Just type in the name and you just call, right? You don't need to know the number. But even if your own number, if I ask you, until I ask you, it's not your conscious mind. It's in your subconscious mind, which you never use. And that's what happened to us when a coach or somebody, mentor or somebody comes to you. They bring that subconscious mind to your conscious mind, so you can have a conscious decision on the things that you would like to do. Now, again, I'm emphasizing on the point that no one can achieve on. In fact, and John Maxwell says that also, our best thinking actually comes from others. And I always say that, you compete with your own standard. What you are today, can you be better tomorrow? That only can happen when your consciousness is there. And of course, many of us, we want to help others and this and that, and that's all of us we want to do. But to do that, focus on the present, not on what can happen and how it can be, what you're doing at this time. So that's why the thoughts are important, because what you're thinking will become your words, will become your behavior, that will become your action, that will become your habit, and then that will create your character. So enough of awareness. Let's move on. Your authenticity. What do you mean by the authenticity? I think I talked about assessment. So who you are, what you do, and how you do things. That's your authenticity. Now, you grew up in some culture, some environment, and that shaped you, and that's who you are today. But for the most part, there are people who don't see themselves as valued. Sometimes they put themselves down because they don't know their worth. How do you see yourself? In fact, nobody can do what you can do. Nobody can be what you can be. And that's what Dr. Seuss said. Today, you are you. That is truer than true. There is no one alive who is youer than you. Nobody can be more you than you. Now, what I ask for all of you to do is do your own assessment, who you are, find out what you'd like to do, and then stick to your origin. And within that, you have the capability to do things which nobody can do. And I can promise you that once you find out, it will give you a lot of satisfaction. The way I'm doing is, I found out that, okay, the next, what Kamrul is doing, the youth, the next leaders. So I started, or I do some youth leadership and entrepreneurship and some of those courses and be involved as much as possible in the community too. And within my family, you see part of my family pictures, the second generation, and they are the leaders, right? So they are you. You guys all are the leaders for tomorrow, and then you'll be leading others, and you will be developing other leaders through your leadership. So now you might be thinking your authenticity, your leadership is not important. That is not true. That is the most important thing today for you to know, because you have the responsibility of that leadership and understanding and lead others, because what you do today will be developing the leaders tomorrow. So if you're not taking that responsibility, then how you're going to help those people to, because your own family, your own community depends on that. Okay. And in fact, Mark Cole, who is a good friend of ours, Kamrul knows him pretty well too. If you know people, who people are, don't look at their resumes and don't listen to what they only say. Follow their action, as I was talking about that. Follow their action. Find out what they are doing and if they're worth investing your time. I'm not saying in a bad way that you don't invest time on people who is not worth it or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that invest your time wisely, because your time is valuable. I am taking time from you guys. If there's 10 people in here, I'm taking 1 minute, that's 10 minutes. And I'm taking 1 hour, then I'm taking 10 hours, cumulative hours. I don't want to waste that time for you, right? So when you think of your worthy like that, it will give you more satisfaction. It will give you self-image, and your self-image will determine your situation tomorrow. Any question on that? Okay. Now, what are the things that you can do as your growth? First of all, I always tell people that you have to be a responsible person. You have to take ownership. You have to use the tools that you know, and then you have to be involved. You have to step up, be that person, probably get out of your personality a little bit, probably take some understanding of what you can do. Starting from responsibility. What is responsibility? John Maxwell, in one of his core training, said that even at work job, the first day or sometime, and it's a non-responsible job, let's say, where you just started, it is an important thing to do. Let me tell you this, a small story. I was in Johns Hopkins Hospital about 4 years ago, around this time. That was also in the month of Ramadan. My son was born. My son was born only 2 pounds and 7 ounces, this little in my palm. My ring could go in his arm, that kind of thing. So it's very tiny, and he's growing, mashallah. Okay, he's doing great. But at that time, there was this janitor, a couple of janitors. One of them I remember, because I was there as much as I could in the hospital, in the NICU, neonatal intensive care unit, only for that little guys, they have a special ICU there. And I was there for weeks and weeks, 6-7 weeks. He was in the incubator. But the way they took care of the baby, or those little creature, I should say, if somebody don't care about that from their heart, with all their skills and abilities and awareness, those little human beings cannot even be alive in their life. Even the janitor, a couple of the janitors, I even remember their name, I took notes on it. He used to clean every little thing, like what you do today for COVID-19. That's exactly what they do there. You have to wash and this and that. You have to completely sanitize. It's like a clean room environment kind of thing. And so somehow it came within me, maybe because of my nature, because of my coaching mentality, maybe because of my leadership ability. I don't know, or what I am. I'm a student of leadership. So I told him that what you do today on a daily basis and the way you do it, you have no idea how this environment is good just because of you, just because of what you're doing. And he told me, and he knew my name by then also. He said, nobody actually told me about it before you like this. So when you are valuing people, you're automatically increasing their self-image. You're automatically increasing the value in your environment. And guess what? That work is going to be emphasized, and it's going to get even better because he's going to put more importance in that. So with a little bit of injection of what you can say and do, you just increase the value in that environment by a lot. But coming back to John Maxwell's quote, that he said, do one thing extra at your job, which is not your responsibility. If you do that consistent basis every day on daily, guess what? Where you're going to be? You're going to be at a point where you would not even imagine to be there. You can get there. You can get to your pinnacle. And your work, influence your work. What do I mean by that? Is that it's not what you do, it's how you do it. What is the responsibility sense you're taking? The ownership. What is that ownership? You could be a salesperson in software industry, in it doesn't matter. Or every day you're doing some selling anyway, right? That's what we do on a professional basis, on a corporate level also. But the thing that in our mind is, usual people's mind, I should say, when you sell it, okay, done. That you did a great job, right? That's what you. No, take that ownership. You sold it, but you're still owner of that. How did you feel? What did you do? What are the things are you going to take care of at that time? If you knew that you were the owner and you sold it, and somebody owns it, but in your mind, hey, you know what? This is my product. I'm proud of it. This is my service. I'm proud of it. And you're following up. Hey, you know what? I sold that software. I sold that service. How you're doing, and without any string attached to it. You're not doing that because you want another business. You are not doing that because you can sell another product. You are doing that genuinely. Paul Martinelli, who is the president of the John Maxwell Team, he said one thing which changed my thought process in 2014-15 time, that check. And I actually asked a question on a mentorship program on the phone. He said, it doesn't matter. Whatever you do it genuinely from your heart. That will make a difference. Not everybody will do the exact same thing. They may sell or do the exact same service. But the difference between him and you is you will take that ownership. You will be the most genuine, and you are doing it from heart. And that's what makes the business the best possible. 3 people might be doing the same thing. 30 people might be doing the same thing. But how you are doing it, that's what makes the difference. That's what makes some John Maxwell team members. That's what makes Kamrul different. That's what makes Raj different. That's what makes many other people different. You will hear next week, Raj, You don't want to miss that. Literally, he really changed my life, and that's how he became my, a part of my life also. But moving on, tool access. This is exactly what Kamrul is doing now. The tools that you have in your disposal, use them, understand them. If you go and try to nail something without a hammer, without a brick or any other thing, yes, you can do it, but it will take much more effort. It will probably you'll have a band-aid in your hand after that or something. So the tool is like that. When your mentor, your coach, your guide, your programs, your online program, that is in front of you, take advantage of that. That's the best thing can happen for you, because you can never make a mistake. Or even if you make a mistake, that will become the most valuable experience in your life, which can help many others and a ripple effect after that. And of course, be involved, right? How can you be involved? You can be part of this journey that Kamrul is creating, or many others, or your company, or your university, or or your environment, whatever, the community. There's something going on. Hey, step up, go there, ask. Do you need help? Or if you need help, can you ask them? Hey, can I get some help? Are we still online? Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, anybody hear me? Okay. All right. So, Kamrul, we're at the top of the hour, and I think I'm almost at the end also. This is the last slide, last kind of slide that I want to show, that, what we do from UNEX or from John Maxwell team members, and how you develop leadership. So we create leaders, we help leaders to create more leaders. And that's what John Maxwell taught us. Because your people knowledge, your leadership knowledge, your awareness, those are the most important knowledge that you need to have. And the rest of the things you can learn anywhere. And even in my engineering job, engineering consultant, I can bring you there and teach you some of the things in 6 months' time, and you'll be more expert than what many other people are coming out of the universities. By the time you are done with university level education, most of them are obsolete, most of them are not being in use. By the time you graduate 4 years degree, the first year, whatever you read, whatever you studied, that's probably not in use anymore. So I'm not discouraging university level programs, university level education, but what I'm saying, this is real meat. This is where rubber meets the road. This is what we are excited about, that you need to be part of, because the more you understand yourself, the more you understand people, the more you understand life, the better it is. I told my daughter, who's 14 years old in middle school here, in 8th grade, hey, yes, you're doing great in school, you're a top grade student and this and that, yes. But more so about, I'm training her on leadership, on life. That's what matters. To be involved. Go. I took her to food bank for volunteer and this and that. Because what? Because I want them to understand that what I missed, what I did not understand for many, many years, that created more and more failure. I'm not saying failure is bad, but why would you not learn it when you have that ability, when you have that tools, when you have that coach, when you have that mentor in your disposal? I think the reason why I developed UNEX, why I wanted to do all these things, is because I needed to know me. I needed to know what I'm good at. I needed to know what I'm passionate about. I needed to know what I can influence the most. Then I need to know environment I'm in to be involved, what I'm more meaningfully I can contribute. Everyone likes to help each other. Then what is the struggle? I understand that I need to know others as well, not only myself. I discovered not a single soul is the same. They all think different, including my wife. and that's what it is, but that's not a problem. So I started form this organization for everyone, where I don't have to be dictating anything, but I can facilitate and I can help others and learn from others. I can also duplicate this effort to many others, because life. That's how I understand the intricacy of the and the serendipity of this life. I had my bad times, I had my good times, but all I know, your understanding, your awareness, your preparedness is where you get the most success from. So with that, I am, and of course, by the way, I was telling Kamrul also that in a month from June 9th or so, I think that's probably it's a Tuesday, I will be offering a living intentional living book mastermind. A mastermind is where people get together and they discuss, so the knowledge, the understanding level has multiple effect. What you can read, if you read it two people together and discuss, it will multiply. And then when you have more people joining the same mastermind, it will multiply in an exponential effect. And that's exactly what's going to happen. That's exactly what happens. And that's what we call mastermind. John Maxwell team member Amra Jara Asi, we are all licensed to do those mastermind on the John Maxwell books and a few other books as well. So and we do workshop as well. So with that say, I'll be offering a mastermind on intentional living, which is a tremendous powerful book and one of the best books that I have read of Dr. Maxwell, and I love it. I will send a link in my Facebook as well as in my website. So if you want to follow that, or if you have any question, feel free to email us on the next portal.
If you can put the link,
I'll actually do that while we're doing so.
Anybody interested definitely can join in.
Kamrul bhai, we missed you. Would you please repeat?
What I said is, like, for this mastermind group program, you can put the link, your website link and also your Facebook group link as well. So if anybody interested to join, Sheikh Bhai, they can join in. That's what I have said. So can we have the questions right now? Because we are almost towards the end of the session. So if any questions, comments, please put it here from the Zoom session, and also those are watching from the Facebook as well, from both the side. And now we will be taking the questions. So from our students, so just raise your hand and then ask the question directly. You can ask directly any questions that you have. I see about a lot of students are inside the Zoom session. So please feel free now to jump into your question. Who wants to be first?
Okay, now, actually, I see a lot of chatting, which I was missing. I apologize for that. I was not concentrating on that. So there are people who are from Notre Dame and many others, So thank you. Yeah. Any question, please, for me? Or
I will take question from there. Mo, you wanted to ask question. Please go ahead. Ask yourself.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful session. As you have mentioned before, the maximum leader of our country are not worthy for holding the position. And there are a few reasons, because our system is biased almost every and we don't get enough possible platform to express ourselves and grow our leadership capability. So I think we need a better environment to grow up a better leadership. But from this conversation, I can say I have a problem. I have lack of confidence on me, and I'm not responsible enough to be a leader. How can I be more responsible by sitting at a corner of my home? Can you suggest me something?
Okay, who is this?
Okay, Mo, thank you.
Talking to Mo?
Yeah.
Can you switch on your video,
Mo,
if it's possible, right?
Oh,
yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I want to see some pretty face and handsome people, and that way the conversation, So see,
there will be more connecting.
Even for myself, see, I put on a nice shirt, I put some cologne. Can you smell me? Nice, right? So that's why, that's what this is about. But Mo, to answer your question, first of all, I used to think like you that, okay, you know what? I am young. When I was young, I was born in last century, so I'm not
You
young
are still
anymore.
young, Sheikh
Sorry,
Bhai. You are
I'm
still
young.
young.
I'm young. Okay, yeah. I'm wise. How about that?
Hmm.
But yes, I used to think like you, and I was thinking like, I'm not at the age. I don't have that knowledge to do what I want to do. But here's the difference. I went to so many seminars. I went to so many thousands of videos. I read so many books on leadership and this and that. And today, I have one or two, three books. I would like to be even better reader because I love it, and the things that I learn, when it triggers my thoughts right away, I get intrigued, and it's rewarding for me, and then I want to share it. The thing that I wanted to say to you is that you are a leader. You just have not revealed yourself. You have no idea your story, your one thought, how much it can change others. And if you are not doing that, you are doing a disservice to others. So the more you understand yourself, the better it is for you. It's never true. Everybody is a leader. You influence some people somewhere, somehow. Yes or no? It could be your family, it could be your friends, it could be your younger brother, sister, anything. When you say, go outside, talk among your friends, and I say, hey, you know what? I saw this movie by Shah Rukh Khan or something like that. It's a wonderful movie. Or the other day we were watching a movie. It's a nice leadership kind of movie also, The Lift Boy or something. I really liked it. And I'm not promoting Bollywood or movie or anything by any chance. I'm just saying, when you talk about that in your friends, what happens? 1, 2, 3 people will go and watch that same movie. You just influence some people somewhere. The definition of leadership is influence. Nothing more, nothing less. Dr. John Maxwell, #1 leader, said that, and everybody agrees with that. So, you are a leader. You just want to be a better and bigger leader. And you can do that doing the things what you are doing today. And you are doing a tremendous thing. You are already within less than 1% of the people. You are thinking. Paul Martinelli said, 3% people think they think, 95% people are scared to think, and the rest of the 2% people actually think. And you are within that 2%, and that's why you're thinking, and that's why you made this question.
Absolutely. So moving forward, our next question, Rafi, you raised your hand. Please switch on your video and then come forward and ask the question. Rafi.
I have a question. I have been working with a club for a while, and I have to organize a team of almost 100 members. So whenever I have to organize any occasions or any program, it comes that I have to work each and everything, because I feel insecurities whenever I give duties towards my fellow members. So how can I eradicate this kind of insecurities as a leader? And another question is, sometimes there are some members who are very active and I got biased towards them, and I always give them opportunities and other sometimes some kind of illegal opportunities. So how can I manage to eradicate this kind of stuffs?
Rafi,
good question.
Very good question, Kamrul. Yeah, you're right. I mean, that is, and first of all, I champion you for being involved in what you're doing. Secondly, what I can say is, I can tell with my experience and the things that I do what your personality is by now already. And I know another friend of mine, Raj, can tell also, just because what you just said. And in fact, the people from our our countries, they are usually mellow kind of people, right? if you go to South America, some people, they're upset, they will come and punch you, or they will start doing something. Oh, look at this, my little one. Okay, can you say hello to everybody?
Hello.
Salam. What happened? Why are you crying? Okay. You just say salam to everybody, and then we'll start talking again. Okay.
She's just
Okay.
waking up from sleep. No problem. Take care. Settle down her
Okay.
first. No issues.
I'll keep going. So Rafi, first of all, what you're doing is correct. You have to be involved, and you're thinking that somebody is doing more activity, more things. That's also okay. Sometimes you have to get into an organization, even though you might be a bigger leader, but you have to follow some even smaller leaders, so to speak. I mean, there's nothing like that, and I don't take word to word what I'm saying, but I'm saying that it's okay to follow somebody others until you are at a position where you want to be. Your leadership, if you're a big leader, your leadership skills will take you where you belong at some point. It may not be today. However, some people may not understand, some people may not recognize, some people may not support. So you have to go through that, and that's why you need the soft skills. That's why you work with Kamrul. That's why you use a mentor who has already went through the things that you have done, or who knows how to guide you there. You cannot know everything that you need to know. So there are things you might be missing. There are things you might not be missing, but it's still okay. So I don't know if I'm clearing or I'm saying it right, but if you want to clear with the second question, I can explain more.
I have been saying that some of my members are so much active in any program.
Right.
So whenever I find some opportunities, I always give them the priorities. But other members and other members are not getting the priorities. So I think it's my duty to give everyone the same opportunity. But also I think that who are active, they are the gainer. They should be the gainer of any opportunities that I got. And
আমি যদি ঠিক মতো বুঝে থাকি, তুমি you're Bangladeshi, right? Completely.
Yes,
like
yes,
me.
I am Bangladeshi. Yes.
Okay. You don't want to insult me, বড় জনের উপরে কথা বলতে চাও না, or something like that, right? Or somebody is a bigger leader that you're thinking.
আমি বলার চেষ্টা করছিলাম যে আমার একটা স্টার্টআপ কোম্পানি আছে, এবং আমরা হলো রুফটপ গার্ডেন সলিউশন দিয়ে থাকি। তো যখনই দেখা যায় আমরা কোনো প্রজেক্ট পাই, তো কিছু মেম্বার্স আছে যারা খুব অ্যাক্টিভলি প্রজেক্টে কাজ করে। তো যখন আমরা এরকম নতুন কোনো অপরচুনিটি পাই, তখন ওই যারা অ্যাক্টিভলি কাজ করে এদেরকে নিয়ে সবসময় প্রজেক্টে আমরা রান থ্রু করি। তো এতে কিছু মেম্বার্সরা একটু মনোক্ষুণ্ণ হয় যে কেন আমাদেরকে সুযোগ দেওয়া হচ্ছে না। সো আমি এই জিনিসটাকে ইরাডিকেট করতে চাচ্ছি মূলত, যে সিচুয়েশন ক্রিয়েট হয়।
So since I don't know all the details of it, but what my understanding with my experience is that some people, they don't have that confidence. Some people don't have that self-image. I am one of them. I was not able to speak to one person, forget about this tons of people here. I was not able to step up and be involved. I was not able to go up and tell somebody, hey, you need to do this and you need to come, all this thing. I was not there. But somebody, the leader, that leader has to have that self-image, that understand that authority, feeling of that authority. যখন সেটা হবে, it's easier to tell somebody. You are telling somebody not to dictate, but to help him and the organization. So think differently. So in your position, it might be the case that you have to tell somebody to do something. Or, hey, I understand you're doing it for some time, but now, hey, why? Come on, prove yourself, see what you can do. Maybe that's the way to do it. Or maybe you have to go through a leadership training for others.
Yes.
I don't know, I cannot speak for them, but once you start taking some of these courses and understanding, you will know. And when you use tools or or knowledges and courses like that. I think that will be a good start. So
Yes,
what you're facing, it's not only by yourself. I'm telling you, it's a lot of people are in the same boat.
Yes, I have already.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rafi, for your questions. I think if anyone else want to ask question, I see Shartaz, you are listening very carefully. I see Tashfiya Islam, you're listening also very carefully. Tashfiya, if you want to ask questions, so you are a very good listener and very good observer. You're silently watching, listening, and if you have any questions, just come forward.
Thank you, Bhaiya. আমি অনেকক্ষণ ধরে এটা শুনছি, আমি শুরু থেকে শুনছি। আমার ভালো লেগেছে সেশনটা, আর আমি জিনিসগুলো বুঝতে পারছি, এবং হচ্ছে আমি প্রিভিয়াসলি যে কাজগুলো করে এসেছি, কারণ আমি আমার ইউনিভার্সিটিতে একটা ক্লাবের সাথে সংযুক্ত আছি, জগন্নাথ ইউনিভার্সিটি ক্যারিয়ার ক্লাব। তো এখন আমি ওটার সাথে রিলেট করে আমি জিনিসগুলো ঠিক করতে পারছি যে লিডারশিপ আমার কি জিনিসগুলো আরো ভালো করা দরকার, আর সামনে আমি আরো কিভাবে নিজেকে ডেভেলপ করতে পারি। থ্যাংক ইউ। আমার আর কোনো কোশ্চেন নেই।
Okay, very. So how can you develop yourself on this note? If I ask you, like, how you thinking to develop yourself, so that others can, listen from you, your thoughts, your ways.
আমার আরো বেশি কমিউনিকেশনের প্রতি আমার আর একটু বেশি যত্নশীল হতে হবে, এবং আমি চেষ্টা করব হচ্ছে আমি যতটুকু মনে করি যে আমি যদি একটা কাজ যদি আমি কাউকে করাতে চাই, আমার অবশ্যই সেই কাজটা সম্পর্কে নিজের ধারণা থাকতে হবে যে তাকে আমি এই সময় পর্যন্ত বলবো যে তুমি এই কাজটা আমাকে করে দাও। আমি যদি নিজে না জানি যে এই কাজটা কিভাবে করতে হবে, তাহলে আমি তো তাকে অর্ডার দিতে পারি না। তো কাউকে বলার আগে আমার নিজের অবশ্যই জিনিসটা জানতে হবে যে আমি কিভাবে করে কাজটা করব। আমার নিজের স্কিলটা ডেভেলপ করা দরকার সবার আগে, তারপর আমি সেই অনুযায়ী আমি একজন মানুষকে গাইড করতে পারবো।
Brilliant.
That's well said. As a coach, it's a little bit different. আমি যখন তোমার মতো ছিলাম, of course, in your own line it's the same thing. Suppose আমি engineer, তুমিও engineer হিসেবে you started work. Let me repeat your question or your statement in English first. So what you're saying is that you need to learn before you guide somebody on that task, right? So to answer that, yes, in engineering field, if I'm teaching somebody in engineering, yes, but let's say like Rafi, who was the CEO or owner of the company, right? So he does not need to know all the little tasks in that company, right? He could be an engineer, he could be an accountant, but it's a whatever, medical industry or work or something he's doing. So in that case, he would be working with doctors or many other medical industry people. So it's not possible for him to know the task and then direct him. So he has to be a coach. So things little bit shifted in that case. I don't know if I'm confusing. I don't want to confuse you.
Yeah, I can totally understand. If যদি তাদের কোনো এক্সক্লুসিভ কোনো টেকনিক থাকে বা এক্সক্লুসিভ কোনো নলেজ থাকে, তখন সেটা অবশ্যই আমি সরাসরি সেভাবে করে জানতে পারবো। তবে মিনিমাম আমার এক্সপিরিয়েন্স থেকে আমার অবজার্ভ করে কিছু আইডিয়া আমার অবশ্যই রাখা উচিত যদি আমি একজন লিডার হিসাবে কাজ করি। আমার টিমে অনেকজন থাকবে, তো সবাই যদি আমি তাদের সম্পর্কে মিনিমাম ধারণাটাও না রাখতে পারি যে তারা কিভাবে করছে, একটু যদি এক্সপিরিয়েন্স আমার না থাকে, তাহলে লিডার হিসেবে আমি অবশ্যই ব্যর্থ।
True, very true. Thank you for your thoughts. Coming back, I see Shartaz from Buet. Shartaz, so this is a chance if you want to ask any question. This is a senior brother, Sheikh Bhai also from Buet. Sheikh Bhai, Shartaz, young fellow of our program from Buet. Shartaz.
Okay, sir, I want to ask that I am now a student of a university. I have the scope of working in different institutes and multiple institutes. Let me explain. I work in a local welfare organization which run by some college friends. This is local. Its name is Genesis Foundation. It's one kind of organization which helps poor people in different divisions, different districts like Rangpur, Sylhet, Mymensingh. I again work with another organization which is UNICEF, United Nations Youth and Student Association of Bangladesh, which run their programs totally different way. It run their programs globally. So my question is, if I work in two different institutes and I complete my assigned work perfectly in a right time, if is there any negative influence get in my superiors রিলেশন? মানে আমি বলতে চাচ্ছি যে আমি যদি দুইটা অর্গানাইজেশনের হয়ে কাজ করি এবং আমি যদি আমার কাজগুলো কমপ্লিট করি সময় মতো, আমাকে যে কাজগুলো দেওয়া হয়েছে, এটা কি কোনো নেগেটিভ ইম্প্যাক্ট ক্রিয়েট করবে যে আমি আসলে দুইটা অর্গানাইজেশনের হয়ে কাজ করছি? আমার সুপিরিয়রটা কি কোনো একটা খারাপ চিন্তা আমার তাদের ব্রেনের মধ্যে ইনপুট করবে যে হ্যাঁ আমি আসলে দুই জায়গার হয়ে কাজ করছি? আমার কোশ্চেনটা ছিল এইটা। যদিও আমি কিনা আমাকে যে কাজগুলো দেওয়া হচ্ছিল আমি সুন্দর মতো তাদেরকে সম্পন্ন করে দিতে পারছি। যেমন আমাদের ফাউন্ডেশনে আমাকে যখন বলা হয়েছে যে হ্যাঁ আমাদের রোজার ইভেন্টের জন্য তোমাকে এত টাকা কালেক্ট করতে হবে বা এই জিনিসগুলো শেয়ার করতে হবে, তখন আমি সুন্দর মতো এই জিনিসগুলো কমপ্লিট করতে পেরেছি। তো দেখা যায় কি যে আমি যেহেতু এনাফ আমার হাতে টাইম থাকে এবং আমি করতে পারছি, তো আমি দেখা যাচ্ছে কি মাল্টিপল অর্গানাইজেশনের সাথে একটু লিঙ্কড হয়ে যাচ্ছি। তো এটা কি ইন ফিউচার আমাকে কোনো নেগেটিভ ইম্প্যাক্ট দিবে? যে কেউ কি এরকম কোনো কিছু চিন্তা করবে কিনা যে আসলে এই ছেলেটা আসলে মাল্টিপল জায়গায় কাজ করতেছে, এ হয়তো একটু ডাইভার্ট, এই জিনিসগুলো কি আসলে কাজ করে কিনা? থ্যাংক ইউ।
First of all, Sartaj, bravo যে তুমি এত কিছু জড়িত with your studying going on. আমি জানি না কিভাবে করো, but that's a great. First of all, you must be doing a good time priority and management. Secondly, doing work in two organizations, I don't think there is anything wrong with it. However, sometimes there is a conflict of interest that is a big deal in the US, I know. So Ami Janina, is it because of that you're asking or what it is? But I mean, if you can handle you're doing multiple jobs or multiple help or I don't think there's anything wrong and it can hurt you negatively. And in fact, if I were your superior, I would think it as a positive that, okay, how is this guy managing so things? Maybe I need to put him in a higher responsibility and give him more tasks so he can be a bigger leader for this organization or something like that. So, I mean, without understanding all the some of the details, that's all I can say. In my mind, I don't see anything wrong, but you have to explain me more, or probably I need to understand more on the things that you're trying to find out.
Right, absolutely. It depends on perspective. So need to have more detail probably, Sartaj, we can talk about it. And moving forward, we have next question that I got text. That is Naimul from IUBAT. You go ahead with the question. I see you don't have the camera to switch on. You
yes,
can't,
sir.
so it's okay. So ask the question that you have.
Okay, thank you, sir, for giving me the opportunity. Do you hear me clearly?
Yes, you're clear.
Okay,
loud
thank
and
you,
clear.
sir. My question is about that from my study life. Now, recently, I'm doing my graduation from IUBAT and from CSC department. This is my last semester. So on this side, I am also doing many civil work, like I am a manager of a CSC robotics club in my university, and also I have also work in educational company known as Our Edu. So maximum time my role was as a project manager. I was trying to manage my projects. So maximum time, what problem I face is that the decision taking. Like when I got some kind of order from my higher authority, like my boss or my superior person. So when I go to execute that order to my under my colleagues, other colleagues who are working, at that time maximum time I face something like that, the misunderstanding. Sometimes I have to make rude behavior, or sometimes I have to take some hard decision to maintain or if you don't mind, can I speak in Bangla? Then I can easily make understand.
Of course, হ্যাঁ আমি কঠিন বাংলা ইউজ না করলে আমি বাংলা সহজ বুঝবো।
ধন্যবাদ। তো যেটা দেখা যায় যে ম্যাক্সিমাম টাইমে যে ডিসিশনগুলো আমাকে দেওয়া হয় যে এই কাজটাকে আউটকাম করে আনার জন্য, তো যখন আমি এই ডিসিশনগুলোকে এক্সিকিউট করতে চাই, অনেক সময় দেখা যায় যে আমার যারা কলিগস থাকে তাদের ভিতরে একটা মিসআন্ডারস্ট্যান্ডিং তৈরি হয়ে যায় যে সে এটা আমার উপর বেশি প্রেশারাইজ করতেছে, তাকে একটু বেশি অপরচুনিটি দিচ্ছে, আমাকে কম দিচ্ছে। সো আমি একটা ছোট একটা মানে ইনসিডেন্ট শেয়ার করতে চাই, যেটা হয়েছিল আমি যখন একটা এডুকেশন রিলেটেড কোম্পানির প্রজেক্ট ম্যানেজমেন্টে কাজ করেছিলাম। সো ওখানে আমার দায়িত্বটা ছিল হচ্ছে প্রজেক্টগুলোকে ভালো মতো কাজগুলোকে ডিস্ট্রিবিউট করার জন্য। সো ওখানকার যে কলিগসরা ছিল ম্যাক্সিমাম ছিল আমার ফ্রেন্ড, বাট সামহাউ পজিশনাল দিক থেকে আমি ছিলাম তাদের ম্যানেজার। সো জায়গা দেখা যেত যখন আমি কোনো কাজ এক্সিকিউট করার জন্য অর্ডারিং করতাম, তো তখন হচ্ছে তাদের ভিতরে একটা আমার সাথে একটা কমিউনিকেশন খুব খারাপ ভাবে চলে আসতো যে না, সে আমাদের সাথে ওভার অ্যাক্ট করতেছে, আমাদের জন্য কোনো অপারেটর দিচ্ছে না, সফট কর্নার দিচ্ছে না। সো এই বিষয়গুলো হচ্ছে গিয়ে আমি প্রায় সময় ফেস করে আসছি। রিসেন্টলিও আমি যে ক্লাবটা চালাচ্ছি, রোবোটিক্স ক্লাব, সেখানেও আমি আমার জুনিয়র এবং আমার মেটদের ভিতরে প্রবলেমগুলো ফেস করতে। সো আই জাস্ট নিড সাম সাজেশন যে আমি কিভাবে এই প্রবলেমগুলোকে ওভারকাম করতে পারি। থ্যাংক ইউ।
Okay, Naimul, first of all, thank you for the question. তুমি যে কোয়েশ্চেনটা করছো, the question you asked, I think it's not unique. It is asked everywhere. I mean, this is a massive dealings in corporate world. আমার এক্সপেরিয়েন্সে এবং আমার corporate লাইফের এক্সপেরিয়েন্স in America also. So what happens is, তুমি একটা manager, you are in a position, basically it's kind of a leadership position, right? So you're directing some people, you have to. So আমি ছোট একটা উদাহরণ দেই, আমার ফ্যামিলির ভিতরেই, হ্যাঁ, আমার ওয়াইফ আমাকে অনেক কিছু ডিরেকশন দেয়, এই এটা করো না, তুমি একটু ওইটা থেকে গেছো বা এরকম, রাইট? সামটাইমস আমি অলরেডি প্রেশারের মধ্যে রয়েছি বা আমি একটা কাজ করতে চাই, ওকে, I don't have time. I'm just না, আমার হয়তো একটা মনোমালিন্য বা কথা হইতেছে বা we're getting into a little bit of argument or something like that. And তো আমি অনেক সময় ঘরেই হোক বাইরে হোক সেটা বোঝানোর চেষ্টা করি যে hey, listen, there is a way of conveying your message. So that's why the soft skill is needed. I'm not saying that তুমি ভুল কিছু বলছো বাবা, I'm just saying the things that can happen. তুমি মেবি ঠিকভাবে বলছো and somebody on the other end maybe ঠিক মতো নেয় নাই, অথবা তুমি যখন যেভাবে বলছো you said the words right but the expression or something was perceived differently. What's the perceived communication with others? That's what it matters. Remember, it's never about you, it's always about others, especially when you're a leader. That's the responsibility that you have to take. It doesn't matter what's going wrong, it's always the leader. Michigan State pani difficulty hoichilo, and there was some crisis of water. Who got fired, who resigned or who got fired was the Environment Protection Agency in DC, the top position guy. He was the one who was affected, not the person যে actual কাজটা করছে at the house or at the environment, at the city. So it's the leader. So তোমার ক্ষেত্রে I believe what it is that it could be some kind of communication thing. So you have to again this is just a superficial thing. You have to understand the whole thing. You have to work with somebody like a coach or mentor and understand, or take a business coach there, or do a session and all those things. We have a leadership game where we do total assessment of the team and all those things. A lot of things can be done, but the story is here is that the understanding each other. যখন সে বুঝবে your subordinate or your group or the people that you're working with, that they, hey, to me, you as a leader, Naimul, you're not doing something bad, so কারোর জন্য কোনো ক্ষতিকর কিছু হবে, and somebody will get badly affected. That's not why you are saying it or doing it. And it's the same for others also. Tarao, they're trying to do the best possible. Maybe they're not understanding it. যখন আমি আমার ছেলেকে আমি শাসন করতেছি বা আমি বলতেছি hey, don't do this, অথবা spanking করলাম একটা or something, whatever, it's not because I hate him or I don't like you or I don't want to succeed. I want him to succeed. No, it's because I want him to do good, and that's why I'm doing it. But he has to understand it, and then only he will respect it, and he will follow through it, and it will get better. আমি কি কাইন্ড অফ কাছাকাছি গেছি তোমার কোশ্চেনের?
হ্যাঁ স্যার, এক্স্যাক্টলি স্যার, স্যার এখানে স্যার আরেকটা বিষয় যেটা আমি একটু বলতে চাই, তো দেখা গেছে যে স্যার যখন টাস্ক ডিস্ট্রিবিউশনের ব্যাপারটা আসে, লাইক একটা টাস্ক ডিস্ট্রিবিউশন মানে কাজ যখন ডিস্ট্রিবিউশনের ব্যাপারটা আসে, কারণ আমার যেই কাজগুলো ছিল ম্যাক্সিমামই তো সফটওয়্যার কোম্পানি এবং হচ্ছে গিয়ে রোবোটিক্স রিলেটেড ইনভেনশন কোম্পানি ছিল। সো আমাকে আমার আন্ডারে যারা ছিল তারা বিভিন্ন রকম সেক্টরে কাজ করতো। সো তাদেরকে যখন কাজগুলোকে আমার ডিস্ট্রিবিউট করা হতো, সো দেখা যেত ওরা জিনিসটা এভাবে নিত যে বলতো যে আজকে না কালকে, এই পারে না পরশু দিন, আমাকে একটু সফট। তো আমি যখন ওই কাজটাকে, আমার তো প্রেশারাইজটা থাকে যে আমাকে কাজটা আজকে হ্যান্ড ওভার করতে হবে পার্সনকে। সো ওদেরকে যখন কনভিন্সিং করতে যাই তখন হচ্ছে এটা ইফেক্ট হয়ে আসে। এন্ড এমপ্লয় কমিউনিটি ইজ এ বিগ কমিউনিটি, সো এটা হ্যান্ডেল করাটা খুব একটা বড় একটা টাফ হয়ে দাঁড়ায় আর কি।
হ্যাঁ, তো ওইটা হচ্ছে গিয়ে তাদের রেসপন্সিবিলিটি, তাদের ওনারশিপ। এখন তুমি সাপোজ তুমি যদি ওখানে না থাকতা, ইউ আর নট প্রেজেন্ট ইন দেয়ার ফর হোয়াট এভার রিজন, ইউ গট সিক অর গড ফরবিড or you got out of town or something, or you're in vacation. So তখন কি হবে? Are those the people who are taking responsibility? আমি যে জব করছি বা আমি যে ফর দ্য মোস্ট পার্ট যে কনসাল্টিং করি বা ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং কাজ করি, হ্যাঁ, ইটস নট কেউ আমাকে কিছু বলতে হবে না, রাইট? I take the ownership. I take the ownership to bring the business. I take the ownership to do the business. I take to do the most profit for the company. I take how the best way represented, because I take that ownership. আমার সেই লিডারশিপ ক্যাপাবিলিটি এখন আছে বা চেষ্টা করি, এন্ড ইভেন উইদিন দ্যাট আমি মিস করতে পারি, সেই জন্য হয়তো আমি আমার মেন্টর বা আমি আমার বস বা কারোর সাথে কথা বলি যে, এই do you think I'm missing anything? What can be done better? What's going on? Tell me. And this is the presentation. Can I do it in front of you before I do it in front of the client? So, আমি যদি তোমার আন্ডার একটা এমপ্লয়ি হতাম, I would do the best possible, the best job, the best detail that's possible in that job. So, not only তুমি satisfied, but your superior and the client is satisfied. But to develop this in me, it took some time, or somebody did some work also to do that, right? I mean, I was not there at the very first day in my job.
Yes.
So, tomar employee jeta ase, what is the sense of ownership? What is the sense of responsibility? What is the sense of leadership for them? Oita grow kora is your responsibility.
Yes, sir. I understand, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your kind advice.
Kamrul, I cannot hear you.
Okay, thank you so much for all the questions, comments, and giving us your valuable time. আমরা অলরেডি 1 ঘন্টা 30 মিনিটের উপর আমরা অতিবাহিত করেছি। So one more questions probably we can entertain, so that I was committed to one of the Facebook comments. Let me see. Manjurul Islam, he asked that what are the main skills requirements for better life? How can we achieve? What are the indispensable skills for legal field? So for better life, there are definitely many skill sets required, in today's world. Definitely, it comes the values. So these are the number one things, like honesty, sincerity, integrity, dedication, commitments. So these are the things, in my view, which is very essential for good life. And when you ask the question for legal field, definitely the legal field is negotiation. And when it's for the negotiation, definitely communication skill is the key thing that we must have, right? On top of the understanding, the empathy, and also the listening and asking the questions. So that's what in my mind. Sheikh, what you want to add with this briefly?
Okay, so in one word, so what is needed for further development? What is the exact question on that, and who's asking this question?
His name is Manjurul Islam in the Facebook. So main skill for better life and indispensable skills for legal field.
Okay, yeah, I see that in the Facebook also. Manjurul Islam bhai, first of all, assalamu alaikum. Thank you for being in the Facebook live. I appreciate that, and I try not to take anybody's time lightly. And my son is giving me this book, Rachel's book. Okay. So what are the main skills? I don't know what you would call a main skills. For me, the reason I told my story in a very short summary, which I can do seminar on parts of it and show exactly how a person grew with a very simple background, whose grandmother was an illiterate person with high leadership skills. And that also I did not understand until she passed away until I was in like my 30s or something. So a person like that, I'm talking about myself, how he developed, what happened, is a journey, and it's a lot of influences. It's going ups and downs, a lot of serendipity that I had to go through. And it was not easy, and it still is not easy, and my journey has not finished, and we are doing this journey together now, and I'm glad to be part of journey with you. And I want to enjoy this journey with you, Kamrul, and many others, where we can grow together. What you can do for me, I can never do. What I can do for you, you can never do for yourself either. So let's do this right. Main skills, Shafnape will say, what is main skill? Is for me, there is no main skill. Everything was a skill. It was one step at a time. Understanding the entrepreneurship was one thing. Understanding the leadership was one thing. Understanding the awareness was one thing. Understanding people, myself, where I can go, what I can do, where I'm best at. I'm not good in guiding you on the finances, but I have somebody with me, Raj Kapoor, who's going to be here next week. He's one of the best. I am not the best to work with Bangladeshi people like you or students. I work with Kamrul in that case. I have other people. So it has to be joint effort with the people, and you have to complement each other, just like you do at home. Same thing. So what is the main skill? Main skill could be your leadership skill. Main things could be understanding yourself. Main thing could be how you contribute others, how you listen to others, listening to others, working together, understanding personality, why life is so beautiful. If everybody is the same, there is no charm in it, right? My wife said something one time that if you are exactly like me and I am exactly like you, then you're just marrying to yourself. Where is the fun? Right? So there is always beauty in different things, different challenges. If there is no challenge, you're not going to progress. You're not going to break that challenge. You will not have that satisfaction. Human mind only gets satisfaction when they overcome a challenge or when they have a progression. Progress makes them happy. I don't know if that answers your question, or if you have any question, Manjurul Islam bhai.
I think that's definitely answered. So, Johurul Islam, I think this is the last question we can take. Johurul Islam, okay. I see your hands you have raised. Johurul, are you there?
Yes.
Can you come forward, switch on your camera and come forward and ask the question? Briefly, we'll try.
Actually, I'm in village for quarantine situation. I'm in village.
Okay,
so
go ahead. No issues.
Actually, open the video.
No issues. Ask the question.
The whole session was really, really good.
Your university name,
both
please.
of you for
introduce yourself
I'm from
first.
the Begum Ruka University.
Okay, from Rangpur.
I'm
okay.
From So question is basic question, basic problem actually. I face a lot of time starting something and be consistent with that. And this is the problem. I start something and I want to do that, and being regular with that, it's very, very hard for me. So I want how someone to please help. Hello.
Yes, we got your question, I think. So what you said is like you start something and then you cannot continue it, right?
Yep.
Okay, Sheikh Bhai.
So
that is the actually,
okay.
You know, it's not only you. I think everybody face this kind of thing. We start so many things and then we ended up, you know, maybe one thing, two thing, or halfway, or leaving everything. So what's your call, Sheikh Bhai?
Yeah, I think you said it right. Yeah, that's exactly what Kamrul is, you know. And I didn't get his name properly, but whoever you are, thank you for that question. And it was a little bit of a bad audio connection, but that's okay. আমি যেটা বলছিলাম সেটা হচ্ছে, yes, that is the case for many people. অনেক মানুষই একই অবস্থায়. In fact, I myself always agree, and I tell others now that I am bad at implementation. I'm good in planning, some planning. I'm good in ideology and putting together something and networking and get to people and get people to do their best. So I'm good at those. But implementing, that's where I'm lacking too. When you find the real answer, let me know. But however, all I can say is that yes, it's just the accountability. I'm learning that also with you, and finding a partner that you'd be working with, finding the environment. Your environment shapes you. The way I treat myself is, I am good in many things, but I'm not good in everything. I can get better in many things. I cannot get better in everything. So I have to pick and choose. So I picked the ones that I'm strong at. So if I am at something at a 0 to 10 level, if I am at a 7 level on something, I can make it better, get it 8, 9, 10. But if I'm at a 1 level at something, to make it 10 is a lot of effort. By then, I can probably change the whole world. So I'd rather not do that. However, I want to get better in that also. I want to get better in putting my socks in the right place, in the plates in the dishwasher, and all those things also. But at the same time, I want to be the best in what I do. And then get somebody else to help me where the implementation is needed. So maybe you need a coach, a mentor, a boss, an environment, your family member, somebody to have you that sense of accountability, where you, it's not because you're reporting and stuff, but you're trying to make yourself accountable to the things you are committing, so you're doing it right. বাংলায় বলতে গেলে বাংলা যেটা হচ্ছে যে নিজেকে অ্যাকাউন্টেবল করা, আরেকজনের সাথে কাজ করা যে তোমাকে হেল্প করবে টু গেট টু দ্য পয়েন্ট যেখানে তুমি যাইতে চাও, অথবা ইমপ্লিমেন্ট করতে চাও, অথবা তোমাকে বলছে এই কাজটা মিস হয়েছে, এটা করা হয় নাই, or things like that. I don't know if that answers your question, or if you have any second or third question, but we are way over time, so let's see what Kamrul takes.
Right. Right. Thank you for all the question. Only one thing I want to add, that is a focus, and avoid the distraction, and set your goal in a small way and celebrate those. So this is very important. And right, I think we actually overran the program right today. So thank you for your time, Sheikh Bhai, and everybody, those who are watching and would be watching. Definitely, I hope and believe that this is something, it might be beneficial for you. And that's what our objective is, to make it more meaningful. We want to add value to your life and to your life object, goal, purpose, whatever you say, and how you can sharpen your skills and abilities, and how you can make yourself ready, job ready. And if you're in a job, how you can actually progress within the job as well. So that's what our objective is. I believe that you got some insights, through the discussions, questions, clarifications, comments. So I thank you, Sheikh Bhai, for your time. One last thought from you, and then I think we can close it for the day. I'm not hearing your voice. Can you just check it?
I'm sorry about that. I'm saying that sorry about that. I wanted to say thank you to Kamrul and all the participants and the questions. The final thing what I can say is I champion all of you guys to be here because this is the best decision that you can take and do something extra beyond your responsibility. Because there is a saying that the success and failure, the edge of success and failure is as narrow as knife's edge. This edge is success, this edge is failure. So what is that? Of course, all of us we are pursuing that success, but it's very close. Since you guys are here at this age, at this youth time, and with young, all of you guys are so young and everything. I think you guys are really great human being, and not only that, you have the drive to go forward. So. One more time, I will be offering a mastermind from June. You can check in my Facebook or UNX Leadership. The website will have that information also by next week. And of course, Kamrul will know. And anything that I can do for you guys, of course, ask Kamrul or email me or anything. That of course, we are proud of you and thank you for being here one more time.
Thank you.
Have a great Ramadan.
Thank you. Yep. Thank you so much for your time, and looking forward to see you in USA soon. So maybe this year, yeah. I thought to visit this year, but I don't know when. It was supposed to be in July. So looking forward to see you soon. So thank you everybody. And last time Shahriar is waiting to ask all of you to switch on your video and have a nice picture. So in meanwhile, I want to say the progress that we are happening right now for all the audiences right now. আমরা এখন এই মুহূর্তে আমাদের অনলাইনে 6000 প্লাস স্টুডেন্ট অনলাইনে আমাদের সফট স্কিল শিখছে. 6000 plus students, more than 200 batches are ongoing. I think it's about 100 plus institutions, all the universities right now, students from across all over Bangladesh. They're learning the soft skill free of cost. So those who are watching right now and would be watching in future, please let us know. We are offering this, skill sets free of cost for your future development, for your job ready. So this is the program we call Job Ready, in partnership with Wadhwani Foundation from USA. They actually designed, developed in US, doing extensive research worldwide, more than 1,000 plus organizations. What is the need for today? And what is the need for tomorrow as well? Based on that, they have identified 10 different core skill sets, which we call soft skill, absolutely free of cost, online. So we are creating batches, university-wise. Let us know, and we'll be happy to serve you. And we're looking forward as well, Shahriar, for your photo time.
Okay, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for the wonderful session and wonderful gift to our students as well. Thank you, Sheikh Rahman Bhai, and thank you, CoachKamrul Hasan Bhai. So I would like to request everyone to switch on your video so that we can capture this fantastic moment for our memory actually. সবাই একটু ভিডিওটা অন করি, আমরা হচ্ছে একটা
যাদের জন্য পসিবল
নিয়ে আমরা হচ্ছে এটা মেমরি হিসেবে রাখবো।
রাইট, থ্যাংক ইউ।
সরি,
যারা পারবে ভিডিও ক্যামেরা অন করতে, রাইট। সো good, now it looks good, right? All the pictures coming. Yes, good.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, you are. Shahriar, go ahead.
Hello.
Click on the Shahriar, শুনতে পাচ্ছি. Go ahead.
Hello.
Shahriar, click করো.
শারিয়া শুনতে পাচ্ছি, তুমি ফটোগুলো নিয়ে নাও, then yes, I think it's sleeping time, right? So a lot of people are, I think fasting, and then Sheikh bhai, sorry for the overrunning the program. Say hello, Baba.
He might be facing network issue.
Say hello. I think Sharia, you are done, right, with the photo session? It's too long, right?
I think Sharir bhai is facing network issue.
Okay, Mahidul, can you take the photo?
Sure.
Okay, take it.
Everyone, can we switch on our videos and just give a thumbs up?
Yeah, video is on. Just take the photo.
I'm inviting everyone to participate.
Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Yes, sir, you are.
Oh,
you are audible.
Sorry. Net connected. I got disconnected. Yeah.
No issues. It's going on, right? Okay, fantastic.
Okay, everyone. Okay. যারা যারা পারি একটু ভিডিওটা অন করি কাইন্ডলি, ম্যাক্সিমাম ভিডিও অফ।
Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay well. May God bless you during this Ramadan, within this COVID-19. So try your best to protect yourself and everybody. Stay safe.
Thank you.
And please like the video, comment, share for others. And because we are putting a lot of effort and to reach all the students across Bangladesh, and this is for you, for the nation's youth development. So please do not forget to share this video and spread it. Share and tag some of your friends who you think would be benefited out of this, and they can join with us as well. So until then, take care. See you. God bless you, everyone.
God bless you.
Good night.
Thank you.